Hello and welcome to another Frenchic's Top Tip video. I'm Craig Phillips, their brand ambassador. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a variety of different substrates where you can apply Frenchic's chalk wall paint. They include bare plastered walls, previously painted internal walls, brick or block work, Artex, and a sand and cement render. When it comes to painting brand new plaster, there's still preparation that needs doing. When you run your hand across it, it may feel lovely and smooth across there. And if you've had a good plaster, it's like a glass finish. However, you want to coarse it up just that little bit for the first coat of paint. So get yourself some sandpaper, just 150 grit is perfect, and give it a light sanding. Now you've gently sanded the plaster, give it a wipe down with a damp cloth to remove any dust or debris. Now when painting bare plaster for the first time, I would always recommend diluting your paint down just by about 5%. So I'm adding a little bit of clean, cold water. This is because the thinner the paint, the deeper it will penetrate into the surface of the porous plaster. Therefore, it will help anchor to the surface in preparation for the second undiluted solid coat of paint. Now that's the consistency I'm looking for, that it just drips off the end of your mixing stick. Pour that straight into my tray. Get your roller nice and wet. Now if you're rolling a flat, smooth area, you want to spread the paint out into almost a square metre like this. And that way you get a more even consistency when applying it into that area. What you don't want to be doing is loading up your roller, starting there, up and down, up and down, up and down, working your way across, because it'll be a lot thicker, heavier there, and it'll get thinner and thinner here. So start off up once and then create this cross area. And that way you're just spreading that paint a lot more evenly. For your second coat, no dilution is required, straight out of the can. Give it a good stir up, because as you know, it's lovely, thick, creamy paint. This also applies to pre-painted walls. If the paintwork is old, give it a good clean down with sugar soap, then rinse and dry the walls off. Give them a gentle sand down. This will help the new paint key to the surface. Frenchic's chalk wall paint is velvety, luxurious and practical. Ultra matte with excellent coverage. This revolutionary product is durable, breathable and totally scrubbable, with minimum VOCs and virtually no odour. Frenchic's chalk wall paint can even be applied with a small handheld paint sprayer when it's diluted, but remember, when diluted, apply additional coats. Now many houses don't have smooth plastered walls and ceilings, they have this, which is Artex, which painting it is pretty much the same technique. However, you will require more paint. This is because of the textured surface. If it was completely flattened out, just like your plastered walls, it would cover twice the surface distance. Start by cutting in right round the outside edge with your paintbrush. Get your roller wet with paint. Start to do the same cross-pattern method as I did on the plastered walls to spread the paint evenly. You can already see I've had to drench my roller again with paint just to cover this 1 square metre. Now my Artex has had about 4 hours to dry. The reason being is there's a lot more paint on there, and of course it gets caught in these little edges along here. So give it a bit longer to dry, and remember, it is going to take up more paint. I've found when I'm painting this type of surface across a large area with my paint sprayer, not only do I save a lot of time, but it's also economical on the paint. Now as for your masonry walls internally, this could be brick or block work. Now these come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, as well as materials from clay to concrete, and of course you've got your sand and cement mortar in between there as well. Well, Frenchic's chalk wall paint will adhere to all of them surfaces, trusting you do the correct preparation first. All internal surfaces must be clean, dry and dust and debris free. Your first coat, like with bare plaster, is going to require 5 to 10% dilution. Apply this on, let it absorb into the brickwork and the mortar. With the paint being a little bit thinner from the dilution, it'll penetrate into the surface that little bit deeper. Then of course, once it's completely dry, you can apply your second coat directly from the tin without diluting it. The more coats that you apply on them, leaving the correct drying time between them, the longer the paintwork will last. So now my first coat is completely dry on the brickwork. It actually looks fantastic. It was a dark grey to start with. I've painted it one coat with Stone in Love right out of the can with no dilution. However, it still does need a solid second coat. And another surface we may find on our internal walls is a sand and cement render. Sometimes this is polished smooth, but quite often on large areas you'll find a rough trowel finish just like this. Pebble dash is also often applied on the top of it. Either way, your Frenchic chalk wall paint is the perfect choice for covering them. Dilute your first coat by 10%, followed by 2 solid coats, applied either with a brush, roller or a paint sprayer. Now your first coat is dry, you can inspect the surface a little bit more and you can see if there are any defects that need sanding down or even filling. And if you're precious, of course, you can do all these. If you do, let the filler dry, and the areas where they're sanded, they'll want touching up with a little bit more paint left to dry before you apply the second coat. And like with all second coats, once you've applied your first coat and it's penetrated in and dry, the second is so much easier and more enjoyable to apply. So hopefully this video has given you an insight into the types of substrates that you can use Frenchic chalk wall paint on internal surfaces. If you're looking for more inspiration, head over to the Frenchic Fan Forum on Facebook. And if you want to see more how-to videos, head over to the YouTube channel, Frenchic TV. But if you just want to know about the vast range of products that Frenchic stock, check out their website, frenchicpaint.co.uk.